Well, it's an episode of Bargain Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at Attack of the Giant Leeches, a 1959 B horror film shot on a shoestring budget, and really doesn't have that much appeal, besides being a very cheaply made film from its era that really represents what sci-fi was like back then, I suppose. There's a lot of emphasis on having giant monsters, and really always going with the cheap explanation that it's all because of nuclear radiation. Which is really what the film does use to justify how the leeches became gigantic and grew squid-like arms so they can drag their victims into underwater caves and then spend days sucking them dry. Because obviously they can never leave the water, because that would be ridiculous, because there'd be more people that see them, and then they believe there's giant leeches out there, and they try and murder them all. I don't know why we have to have these underwater caves everywhere, not to mention the air in them would probably only last so long, so eventually there would be nothing for the leeches to keep feeding on if they really want their victims to still be alive. Not to mention the film can be sort of ridiculous too with the way the monsters work. They're like, oh, these people died 2-3 hours ago and they were sucked dry of all their blood. Like, you do realize if you lose even a couple of gallons of blood, it's probably going to kill you, right? If these giant leeches sucked them completely dry, they would have been dead well before you tried using that dynamite to try and blast their bodies up to the surface. Yeah, there's a character that's a doctor that decides, we gotta get those bodies up to the surface somehow, and the best way is dynamite! And the game warden that patrols the area is like, no, you can't use dynamite. I need permission first before we can do something like that. There's other options available to me first. I just can't go in there all gung-ho with dynamite, even if there are giant monsters in there. I gotta be worried about the alligators and the fish and the snakes. Even if they aren't there, I gotta worry about the environment, man. So yeah, we have a 1959 B movie with an environmentalist as our main protagonist who's trying to save the swamp from poachers. Well, he now has to try and save it from giant man-eating leeches. I don't know. I mean, there's just not that much to this film, like I said. It sort of just plods along with scenes that are in chronological order, and you just get to the point where eventually the hero blows the whole lake up with dynamite, and then the movie ends with a whole... There should be a question mark on that ending, because you can still hear the sound effects of the giant leeches in the water. So, it's like, it's not really over. It's sort of like Lake Placid and all that. Like, you gotta leave room in there for sequel bait. Honestly, the most watchable part of this film is probably Yvette Vickers' character. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but she's honestly the best part of this film. Everything else sort of just, well, sucks. I suppose that's a fitting statement considering the monsters themselves suck to kill people and they suck to look at because they're just basically giant garbage bags. There's only really one effective scene in the entire movie with them, and all the other scenes, they're just ridiculous looking. I mean, I guess if you're a fan of campy B-horror films from the late 50s, this might be a movie that'll appeal to you. Otherwise, you're probably just better off staying away. Until next time, then. See ya.